Hey everybody, what's going on? Love Them Knives here. Love Them Knives. I think we're working on a new logo, so I'll be pushing that one in front of you. Paul Munko's working on it for me, and just simplifying it, but I'll get that in front of your face one of these days. And I probably pushed him back. I mean, I've been so busy with SHOT Show and then everything I had to do after SHOT Show. But this, I got this from White Mountain Knives, this Remette knife. I saw this at SHOT Show on their table because the guys at TACCOM were doing Remette stuff, were manning their table. Well, one of the guys that was at a TACCOM table on a previous, show or whatever was doing this. So, I mean, Remette had representation there at the SHOT Show. And if you see that video, I'll put the link to that video down below, and you can see what all knives were on that table. They're pretty fascinating. This is the RT-WK1, and G probably because it's the color it is, but RT-WK1. This is interesting, and let me see if I can keep from screwing this up, okay? Let's just try that. Here we go, zipper pouch, blah, blah, blah. Microfiber cloth. So let's get to the nitty gritty on this. And here we go. And here we do go. Now this is like 8-inch overall length knife. And I don't know if it's 3.5 or it's under 3.5 supposedly, but look at here. Okay, so yeah, the closest. So it's 3.3 something here. Down here it's 3.4 probably cutting length. Then you got this big old long choil, and then since you got the bolster that moves at an angle up, whatever, so that's the shortest. This is the longest at about almost 3 3/4, and it's 8.15 overall length at 20.5 centimeters. Okay, so are you done? Are you happy now? Okay, hold on. So I've got to, instead of, let's just do this. Let's throw this down, screw that. Okay, this is an interesting knife because do you see any hardware? No, you don't see any hardware. Here you go. No hardware. No hardware, Kimosabi. So it's titanium, it's M390. This reminds me a lot of Keto USA knives that are made by Keto, which is the manufacturing arm of Reich. Okay, in fact, I even mentioned that in the video when we were going through these, because Reich has done some like this. No visible hardware, but this comes off. And so it looks like it's an integral cover here. So this is what this is, okay? By the way, I bought mine off of White Mountain Knives, so it wasn't $385, it was like $340 something because, 10% off, right? LTK gives you 10% off. And you can get them, it is tempting to just get the regular silver, right? But I thought this would be a little bit more flashy, and so it is what it is, okay? So there it is. Disassembly. And I mean, it's really just the WK1. The RT, of course, everything Remette is RT, whatever. RT, Peregrine, R-Keaton, whatever. So, okay. And and here's your, stats. Okay, so let's, I mean, it's a good looking design. One thing for sure is it's really over the detent ball, super quick. I mean, it's just nothing. Boom. Right here. It's over the detent ball already. And it's dropping nicely. And then it's got these thumb discs or thumb studs, whatever. And then it's got a really muted flipper tab, but it's very intuitive and it's not painful. It's not a problem. It doesn't feel bad to fidget. So this knife is super fidget friendly, that kind of thing, and well as kicking it out, reverse, flick, whatever, okay? So you've got that. I got this down because if I'm going to drop something here, I've got bubble wrap. But okay, so there was the lamella that was with Keto USA, aka Reich, whatever. And they at first had their first knife where you, and I did a video on this, okay, where you had to get your big long number 6 in here, and you had to release something in this to release so you could slide this off, right? But that caught some hell from, people. And so they did revise it to this end piece. So this is really a construction that seems very familiar to me from what Reich was doing with some of their Keto USA manufactured knives. They weren't officially a Reich knife, you know what I mean? So, pardon me. So you got this switch, goes up and it goes down. Okay, so and so it's a little bit of a fiddly thing because you want to hold on to this, but not the top. You don't want to stop the top from moving, but you want to pull the switch down, and then you want to move this. And I was doing it the other night, but and let me see. This is the toughest, is to try and train yourself how to do this. There you go. I felt it move. Okay. Yeah, it did. I'm sorry. So maybe I wasn't pushing down and forward or something like that, but here it is. So this is how it detaches. But you got to be careful about one thing, and that's what he did in the video at SHOT Show. Okay, so this pushes, this little switch unhooks it, you push it, it slides forward. Now you can pull this off, okay? But what you need, you hear that ring? It's kind of weird. But he goes, you got to watch this. This is the blade here, okay? That is the blade. So don't push that all the way up like this with your thumb, or you'll slice your thumb wide open. So you need to account for that. And I'm thinking you should be able to, take this off without the blade folded in there. But if you're going to do that, then you need to make sure you account for the fact that the blade is there. And then here you got the screws to just do a standard disassembly on here, okay? And then in any case, here's the cover piece that makes it look like an integral. And it's gonna be some getting used to do this, right? Okay. And here, then you want to go back. Oh, well, yeah, it already caught it. It already locked it in place. Duh. So I've got, yeah, there you go. So I'm sliding it off, lift it, okay? Watch the blade. Boom. Now watch me pull this off. Oh, now it won't make that noise. Shit. Okay, never mind. It's like a chime almost. But we're putting it back on. Here we go. Slap back down. But is it all the way? No, it's not. So you go back here. Now you are back into place. Okay, so you are clicked in and you're good. But it is a little bit of a thing. Now, it's not as bad as what the original version 1 was, when you were sticking the damn stupid number 6 in there trying to pop something away or whatever and move a switch. Now, and I don't know, is it any safer to do it like this with this blade hanging out here? I don't know. Because you got to do this. And you know what? Then I'm holding on to this lower, and I don't want to hold on to the lower. So maybe it is easier to keep this all together. Pull this switch down, and I don't want to hold on to the black part. There we go, finally. Okay, so then we've shoved it forward, which means we're disconnected from this whole thing, and we can just kick it up. So it's going to be one of these practice makes perfect type knives. All right. Open this up. Yeah, it says M390 right there. There's your pivot. There's your pocket clip, which looks like it's done through here. And then, yeah, your body screws, etc. here and here. And you're good. All right. So, I don't know if I need to. Let me see if, like, maybe we should. Or not. Proceed with a total disassembly. There's your pivot screw, by the way. And looks like it's captured pivot here. And is this a number 6? So that goes at the ass end of this, and that drops out, and that's a long screw, so that must have had something to do with something. And so now we're falling apart here. Okay. Now we are falling apart. So here's the liner, which is held on by these screws coming from the inside. And there you go with the pocket clip screws. Okay, hold on. Let's take a little closer look at this. So here we are with the spring. Ooh, you know what? Let's not play with that too freely. But here it is. The spring here, it pops up, it pops down, and it's supposed to be in this place right here. Like that. Okay. Like that. Okay, so let's get this off here. This might be kind of fun to put right back on there, huh? And there's that latch, and that all goes to that with the spring. Here's where your screws come out, and this is just to position that lock piece there. And that's it, and then there's your steel washer. And, of course, a ceramic detamp ball. So that's all that. There's your top cover. And there's your multi-row ceramic bearings. And flip this over. And there's your, let me see, does this even move? And I guess it doesn't need to. And then there's your, you can see your bearings here, which they're kind of in a steel or a bronze disc. That's interesting. So here they are. And then here's the other side as well. And so that's nothing to worry about either. So really, just as far as putting this thing back together, you just got a couple of screws here, and that's it. Where's my, here's my blade stop up here. And then here's this, but does that push back through? That seems kind of stubborn there. I don't know what that's all about, but you know what? I'm going to make sure that it's flush right there. So then we're in good shape with that. And here's the flat spot. So where's the flat spot come on the other side? Oh, it faces forward. So you need to make sure that this is going to face forward like that when you go through the other side. So they'll connect up. And that is your disassembly. Back with the RT-WK1. Yeah, we got her back together. You know, there's a little piece in here with a spring and a little pin that goes through to locate it. So that's probably the most fiddly thing to put in place, and then lay the other, you know, the other side on and get all that locked down before you put this cover on. So yeah, that it can be a little fiddly to take apart and put back together. It is doable though. And so yes, you could take this top off to do a complete disassembly, pulling these liners apart. You are going to have this little piece with a spring, so you do have to put that back, locate it when you reassemble it. And there it is. You guys, what do you think? Check it out. Remette, they came from just doing little budget knives on Amazon to their own website. Their knives are available through White Mountain Knives now, and also TacCom and others. So they looking fine, doing some interesting stuff, including their gravity knife, the Swordfish, right? So check them out. You guys stay sharp.